The Ring City is the second of 2 DLCs for Dark Souls 3, and as of the time of recording is the ending and final content of the Dark Souls series. I played through the DLCs after defeating the Lord of Cinder in my first playthrough of the main game and before starting New Game Plus. I accessed the DLC from Sister Frieda's arena after defeating her in the painted world of Ariandel. The Ring City is said to be located at the world's end at the close of the Age of Fire. It is implied that the unnatural prolonging of the Age of Fire has caused irreparable damage to the world. As the world ends, all the lands converge upon themselves, looking like a seemingly unending barren wasteland as far as the eye can see. The cathedral at the centre of the city protects the sleep of Princess Filianor and hides the Dark Soul. I arrived in the Dreadkeep and spoke to the stone-humped hag who was watching over the merging of the kingdoms and musing over the end of the world. I then started my descent through the Dreadkeep, dealing with the Mercmen along the way. Here I picked up the Ring of Steel Protection +3. I take this as well as the other +3 rings from this DLC into my New Game Plus playthroughs for my completionist run. I met up with Amnesiac Lap and started his questline. Lap is a hollow who has forgotten his past, even his own name. He starts by asking if I've seen the Purging Monument in the hopes that he can use it to remember his former identity. I progressed to the Earthen Peak ruins and found Lap again. I spoke to him and he talks about finding a precious treasure in the swamp. By reloading the area a few times, he fetches the treasure for me and gives me a Titanite slab. Exploring the area further, I was invaded by Desert Pyromancer Zoe and defeated her for the Flame Fan, and then continued to fight the first boss of the DLC, the Demon Prince. This boss fight starts out as 2 bosses, the Demon from Below and the Demon in Pain. They are the same, but one deals fire damage and the other deals poison. Once both demons are dead, the remaining one will transform into the Demon Prince. Once the Demon Prince was defeated, I found the small envoy banner on a corpse. In the ringed inner wall, I found Lap again. He asks for the location of the Purging Monument again. He stays in this location until you find it. I was invaded by Alva, Seeker of the Spurned, and died. At the top of the stairs above the Ring City Street swamp was a church with a locked door. An NPC called Shira speaks to me through the door and asks us not to wake Princess Filianor on our travels and also to end Midir's suffering. Without getting into too deep of a lore rabbit hole, Filianor is worshipped as a goddess and fell into a deep sleep hugging an egg. Somehow, this caused a space-time barrier that isolated the Ring City from the effects of the fading first flame. Midir is a dragon who was tasked by the gods with fighting against the Abyss and its creations. Midir is immortal, and this enables him to perform his duties without end. Over time, the Dark has begun to corrupt him, and Shira fears the consequences if he is lost completely. This is why she tasks us with slaying him before he is fully consumed by the Abyss. I accepted the task just in time, as I was ambushed in the doorframe. Later on, I was invaded again by Alvar, Seeker of the Spurned, and defeated him this time, and then was invaded by Silver Knight Lido. After defeating him, I dropped down some ledges for Havel's Ring +3. In a swamp area, I fought an Iron Dragon Slayer who dropped the Iron Dragon Slayer set. I ended up wearing this set for the rest of the DLC. In this area there's a secret that in order to trigger, you need to bear humanity in disguise. To do this, I used one of the young white branches found in the swamp area. Making your way through this secret area, you will find the Purging Monument that Lap wanted you to find. After this, I headed back to Lap and told him about the monument. He thanks me and promises to remember me as a friend, no matter what. Going through some tunnels, I was invaded by a Moaning Knight. After defeating him, I found Lap striking a familiar pose at a gravesite. He thanks me for restoring his memories and mentions the possibility of finding treasure if I peep past the broken staircase. In a shock twist, Lap kicks me off the staircase and reveals himself to be Patches. He goes on about how he doesn't actually have any worldly wants, wishes us well, and then leaves, leaving Lap's armour set where he once stood. On a bridge, Midir the dragon decided to attack me. After attacking him a few times, he fell into the abyss. After knocking off Midir and doing some exploring, I dropped down onto a statue and picked up the Chloranthy Ring +3. During the Dark Eater Midir boss fight, I did pretty well on my first attempt, but died. After defeating Midir, I returned to Shira at the door of the church for a Titanite slab. Then I spoke with Judicator Argo, who warned me not to enter the Church of Filianor and summoned another boss, Half-Light Spear of the Church, to prevent me from disturbing Filianor's slumber. After defeating Half-Light, I found a sleeping Filianor and touched the embraced shell. This shatters the egg, removing the space-time barrier, turning the Ring City to ash, and Filianor's body becomes hollowed. Shira invades me and is now hostile, no doubt unhappy because I woke up Filianor when she asked me not to. Defeating her opens the church door where her armour set can be found. After defeating Shira, I found the Pygmy Lord crawling in the ash towards the tower, calling to Filianor for help from the Red Hood, who has come to eat them. The Red Hood the Pygmy Lord is referring to is the Slave Knight set worn by none other than Slave Knight Gale, the NPC from the Cleansing Chapel who walked us to the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. After the events of that DLC, Gale set out to find the Dark Soul and bring it back to the painter in the attic, so that she could complete her painting of a new world. He knew that he didn't have a champion strength, and that bearing the Dark Soul would ruin and consume him. Even still, he set out on his mission. Gale's journey brought him to the Ring City at the end of the world, where the Dark Soul was contained. The inhabitants of the Ring City, the Pygmies, were holders of the Dark Soul, and Gale had been slaughtering and eating the Pygmies and absorbing their essence of the Dark Soul. This is when we reunite with Gale. He has been fully consumed both physically and mentally by the Dark Soul, and demands our portion of it. Slave Knight Gale is the main and final boss in the Ring City DLC. Defeating him drops the blood of the Dark Soul. I return to the painter in the painted world of Ariandel to give her the blood of the Dark Soul, fulfilling Gale's duty in death. And that was my playthrough of Dark Souls 3's Ring City DLC. While there are no achievements in this DLC, I still wanted to play through it and document my journey, as I had wanted to get the most out of everything Dark Souls 3 had to offer during my completionist run. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like for the algorithm and subscribing for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.